At Thanksgiving, Dad joked, "Be thankful we still invite you. You never bring anything." My sister laughed. "He's just here for the free meal." I waited for the noise to fade, then said quietly, "Strange. Since that house you're sitting in, I own it." The laughter stopped instantly, and so did every smile around the table. "You can't just barge in late and act like you belong here." Dad's voice hits before the door even shuts behind me. His tone has that familiar mix of whiskey and authority, both sour, both tired. I walk in carrying a single bottle of red wine. My breath fogs slightly from the cold outside. The house smells like roasted turkey, butter, and tension. Clara's laughter cuts through the dining room. "He finally shows up. Let me guess, traffic or charity work?" She always says charity like it's a dirty word. Dad smirks, shaking his glass. "Be thankful we still invite you. You never bring anything." The table bursts into laughter. Even Mom forces a nervous smile. I let the noise die. I set the bottle down gently, my hands steady. "Strange," I say, voice low. "Since that house you're sitting in, I own it." The silence that follows feels like gravity just doubled. Clara's grin stiffens. Dad blinks. "You're joking," she says. I meet her eyes. "You know I don't." Dad's jaw tightens. "You wouldn't have a dime if it wasn't for me." And that's the start. The line he always throws when he's out of control. I take my seat, slow and deliberate, my pulse steady. "Then maybe you should have taken better care of what was yours before I had to buy it back." The tension thickens. Mom whispers my name, but I just look at the silverware, reflecting faces that all pretend they're not afraid of the truth. My name's James Rylan, 26 years old, and for most of my life, I've been the quiet one. The one they use, the one they forget to thank. I'm the one who fixed the messes, paid the bills they ignored, made the calls they were too ashamed to make. They call me ungrateful, but gratitude doesn't erase debt or lies. I grew up in this house. 3 bedrooms, white siding, the kind of neighborhood where everyone waves but no one means it. Dad used to own a small construction business. It failed when I was 19. He blamed the market. Truth was, he couldn't stop drinking long enough to finish a project. I went to college on scholarships, working nights stacking boxes. When their foreclosure notice came, Mom called crying. I wired the money, every cent. And now, years later, they still introduce me to neighbors as the one who left. What they don't know, what none of them ever wanted to know, is how much silence costs family and focus. The dining room's crowded but cold. The chandelier buzzes faintly. The ceiling fan creaks. I can smell the wine Dad spilled on the tablecloth, the mix of turkey grease and resentment. Dad, Raymond Rylan, mid-50s, still carries himself like the boss he once was, even if no one works for him anymore. Mom, Ellen, always smoothing things, smiling through panic. Clara, older by 3 years, always performing, always the responsible one, except when the credit card bills arrive. And then there's Uncle Dean, Dad's brother, never misses a family dinner or a chance to remind us he's seen worse. Dean raises his glass. "To family," he says. I don't lift mine. "You too good for a toast now?" He smirks. I glance at him. I don't drink with people who lie to me. That gets everyone's attention. Clara clicks her tongue. "You really came here just to start a fight?" "I came here," I say, "because Mom asked me to." Mom whispers, "Please, can we just have one peaceful meal?" Dad mutters, "Peace doesn't come cheap in this house." I lean back in my chair watching them. Every forced smile, every nervous glance. They're all hiding something. I can feel it like static in the air. The turkey's cold. The laughter's gone. Dad's voice breaks the silence. "You think owning this house makes you better than us?" I look at him. "No, it just means I did what you couldn't." His jaw works like he's chewing his anger. Ungrateful. That word again. The old family weapon. Mom's hand trembles as she pours water. Clara folds her arms. "Let it go, Dad," she says. He always wants the last word. I chuckle softly. I've never had the first word in this family. She snaps back, "Oh, please, you left. You didn't even come to Dad's birthday." "Right," I say. "Because I was working double shifts to pay off your overdraft." Her face reddens. "That's a lie." Bank statements say otherwise. Dean laughs low, shaking his head. "Always keeping receipts, huh? Guess you learned that from me." Something about his tone makes me pause. It's not what he said. It's what he didn't. And for the first time, I realize this isn't just about old arguments. There's something deeper. Something they've all agreed not to say. The air feels heavy, like before a storm. Dad's cheeks are flushed, his hands shaking slightly. Clara's glaring, Mom's pretending to fix the napkins. "Tell him, Dad," Clara mutters. "You might as well." Dad glares at her. "Not now." "Yes, now," she snaps. "You always said he didn't deserve to know. Well, here he is." I stare between them. "Know what?" Mom whispers. "Clara, please." Clara stands up. "The money, James. The money you used to pay for this house, it wasn't yours." My pulse spikes. "What are you talking about?" Dad rises too. "You think you're our savior?" "You're not. That money came from your mother." I look at Mom. "Mom?" She looks down, fingers twisting her napkin. "It was from your grandfather's life insurance. I didn't tell your father. I just wanted to help." I sit back slowly, the room spinning slightly. "So all those years you told people I paid for the house." Dad snarls. "You wouldn't have done a damn thing without her." My voice is calm, but something cold slides into it. "You're right, but I didn't use it to save you. I used it to protect her." He doesn't like that answer, because it's true. I remember the night it happened like a scar, still there, even when it doesn't hurt. I was 21, drenched in rain, working at a loading dock when Mom showed up. She looked small, lost, clutching an envelope. "I can't let him lose this house," she whispered. "He won't survive it. Neither will we." Inside were checks, insurance money I didn't know existed. "Take it," she said. "You can fix it." I told her I would, and I did. I signed every document, I paid off the debt, and when Dad found out, he didn't thank me. He accused me of trying to own them. That was the last time I raised my voice. After that, I learned to fight with silence. But as I sit here tonight, listening to them twist that story again, I realize silence doesn't protect truth. It buries it. Clara's had enough wine to stop filtering her words. "You knew, Dad," she blurts. "You knew Mom gave him that money. You just didn't care as long as you could use it." "Shut up," he growls. I look at him. "Use it for what?" No answer. Dean clears his throat. "Maybe it's time we stay out of this." Dad barks. Clara's shaking. "He took out a second loan, James. He used your name. He forged your signature." My chair scrapes back. "You're lying." She shakes her head, tears spilling. "I wish I was." Dad's breathing hard, eyes wild. "It was just business. I was going to pay it back." "You stole my identity," I shout, the first real shout in years. Dean mutters, "Should have burned those papers when we had the chance." I look at him. "What papers?" And that's when everything clicks. The reason Dad always told me not to check the property records, the reason the mail kept disappearing when I stayed over, they weren't protecting me. They were using me. I open my jacket and pull out a folder I've been carrying for weeks. Notarized copies, bank records, signatures. Dad freezes. "You think I didn't know?" I say. "You think I didn't see the second mortgage? The forged initials?" Mom gasps. "James, the night you asked me why the bank kept calling. I didn't answer then. Now you know why." Dad steps forward. "You can't go to the police. You'll ruin this family." I stare at him. "You ruined it when you turned your son into a backup credit score." Clara covers her mouth. Dean mutters something about lawyers. I put the folder on the table. "Already sent. To the bank, to the credit bureau, and to your old business partner, by the way." Dad's face drains of color. He knows exactly what that means. Mom sobs. James, please, I soften my tone. This isn't about revenge anymore, it's about truth. And truth, finally, is loud enough to silence them all. I walk out into the cool night air. The wind cuts through my shirt, but I don't feel cold. I feel light. Behind me, the shouting starts again. Clara runs after me, barefoot, mascara streaked. James, wait. I turn, please don't do this. He's still our dad. I look at her for a long time. Then maybe he should have acted like one. She's crying now. I didn't know he forged your name, I swear. I believe you, I say. That's why your name isn't on the report. Her breath catches. You protected me? I nod. Someone had to. She looks at the ground. You're not like him. No, I say quietly. I'm finally not. Weeks pass. The house goes quiet, a different kind of silence this time. Dad's gone. Legal trouble, investigations. Dean disappeared right after. Mom moved in with her sister in Ohio. Clara texts sometimes. Apologies, updates, things she's trying to fix. I don't always reply, but I read them. I can tell she's trying. I moved into a small apartment across town. One window faces the skyline. One desk, one bed, and a piece I've never had before. Sometimes I drive past the old house on my house and stop across the street. The porch light's off now, the laughter's gone, and for the first time, I don't feel anger. I just feel free. I gave them everything, I whisper to the steering wheel. Now I give myself something back. If you were in my place, would you forgive them? Or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters here. Like if you've ever carried a family that never thanked you. Share if you've ever had to choose peace over pain. Subscribe for more stories that hit where it hurts and heal where it matters. Because sometimes walking away isn't losing. Sometimes it's finally winning quietly.